There we are. Hey, everybody. I am Comics for Thomas. Beside me, either on my left or right, is Magic Lasso. And this is my 2021 want list with a little bit of 2020 want list in there and a few cool books to show. I'm not really expecting many people to jump on. It is Saturday night. It's 10 o'clock here. It's probably 6, 7, 8 where you are. Most of my content is meant for replay, but this just seems so much easier to just go live. And I'm really terrible at editing and and pushing things back. So we're going to do this live. And welcome my good friend Magic.
Well, thank you. It's great to be here. I appreciate you asking me. So
yes.
How hard and how difficult was it for you to put your list together? Because when I put my list together, this was a very long process of elimination and second and third guessing things.
Oh, big time. Last year, I put 23 books on my list because I just couldn't narrow down 10 books. And then this year, I was like, okay, I'm going to do 12. And then I'm going to have all these like side list of the, I was telling you about them, about like the, this artist and that artist. And then I fought it. And I was like, no. Those are just books I'm going to pick up anyway. Some of them are like $5 or $6, right? So then I narrowed it down to 12, and then I changed it again and again and again. And finally, like 3 days ago, I decided on these ones. So you'll notice a big difference in how you've already noticed a big difference in how I'm collecting now. Mm-hmm. And you'll notice you've seen some of these books on my list as well. So there's not a lot. Well, there's no variance to start, which is pretty crazy for me. And also 1, 2, there might be 2 modern books, maybe. So I know we're 2 minutes into this, but I have to put my headphones up for 2 seconds because the heat is up and I'm sweating. Sorry, just 1 second.
Okay. Well, while Thomas is doing that, for those that don't know, I'm Ryan. Magic Lasso is my YouTube channel, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please head on over and check out the content. Thomas actually joined me for my very first live broadcast a couple nights ago on Wednesday night, and that's archived on my channel too. So if you haven't had the chance to check that out, we certainly had a fun time and a great visit. And it's a little bit longer. It's about 90 minutes, but there's timestamps in the description too.
There you go.
Awesome. Sorry, I was self-promoting while you.
I know, that was good. That was good. I figured I heard halfway through, so yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's finally started raining here, and I realized because I had the temperature up all day because it wasn't, like I was telling you earlier, and now, I mean, when it rains, it normally warms up, and I'm like, holy frig, it's warm in here now. So,
is it hot in here, or is it my career?
Oh yeah. Before I show anything, did you want to show anything or talk about anything right now? I know we'll talk a little bit about what you got going on at the end of the stream.
No, I pretty much just hit it while you were adjusting the temperature there, that I have a channel that we did a live stream a few days ago. Come check it out. And I'll hit a few more of the points of my channel at the end. So
that's perfect.
I have a few things on order, but nothing has arrived yet. So I was hoping to have something to unbox and open alongside you today, but I don't.
No, I do have one thing that obviously I've already taken out of the package, and which is great. It's perfect timing, but I feel like there's one other thing in the mail, and I just don't. I feel like there's something to do with a Frizzen cover, that beauty cover. Maybe I think I showed you.
Yeah.
I feel I don't have it, so it's got to be in the mail. I think he just was a little bit late getting things going. So.
She is so good.
So let me tell you about today. So I went to my LCS because I was meeting. So my presser likes to meet at my LCS, which is super convenient because it's right up the street. Hey, David SNMC. Yes, wish this to him, right? We're just gonna.
Javi is here too.
Hey, what's up, brother? So yeah, we're just gonna do it just to explain, because obviously you guys just jumped in. I'm going to do a quick review of 2020 want list, how I did, and then I'm going to basically share my screen, and I've got my 2021 want list here. So, but right now I'm just showing you a couple of books that I got today. Anyway, so I was at my LCS, meeting my presser, and a guy through one of my Facebook auctions had asked if I had a book. I can't even remember what it was. I said, no, but I'll check out my LCS, and their back issue bin wasn't there. That's fine. What I did find was I showed you this cover the other day, and I had no idea that they had it. Remember that one?
Oh yeah.
The Ultimate. There you go. So that one's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Here, I want to do this actually. Okay. And anyway, so I get a text from the guy that I've been selling books for, who I've actually been adding a lot of his books to my collection. Because like I told you before, I've kind of, taken anything that he's had for like early Marvel books and stuff like that, which hasn't been a lot, but they've been great, right? So I think I got that Thor 165 from him, or 166 actually. So this one, he randomly had it, and it's in like super good condition. He said, do what you want with it. If you want to buy it, we'll work out a price. And if you want to put it up in one of your auctions, go ahead. And I just drove down, stopped and grabbed the book. And of course, I'm going to buy it for myself because I just recently, on the video the other day, showed everybody number 49. And this is X-Men 48.
That's so funny that you mentioned that. I just pulled that book tonight for
Nice.
a broadcast that I'm going to do. That is such a great cover too, and it's a really good story.
Oh man, and the condition's really nice. So yeah, I was pretty happy. I was just like, oh Frank, yeah. I just kind of looked at it, I was like, yeah, we'll work something out for sure. So
right around that time in the X-Men storyline, the X-Men had technically like disbanded.
Yeah.
They had broken up. So the next few issues were, like the adventure. One was like pretty much Beast, and then the next one was Angel, and one was Iceman, and this one combined Cyclops and Marvel Girl together.
Yeah, because at first you almost think it's just like a special or something.
Yeah.
It seems like it's just like a one-off story, and then you realize, no, this is X-Men 48. It's just these are the two characters that it's going to feature, right? So,
yep.
So that's pretty awesome.
You did very well there. Good pickup.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm happy with both. Like, I mean, the other one's just a cool cover buy, but obviously, anything sub 100 X-Men, I'm kind of gonna throw together. So, old books are good. That's correct, David.
Yeah.
So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly go through the 2020 want list books that I got this year. I ended up getting 10. I did make a list of 23, as was mentioned last at the first of the stream, because I just was like, these are the books that I want, and these are the books I'm going to go for. So, and getting 10, I was pretty happy with it. I actually got my 10th this week, but I had secured the book in December. But then just before I paid it off and actually got shipped here, we're into literally almost mid-January. So I'll show that book in a second. But if you don't mind, I'm just going to roll through these.
Yeah, go ahead.
Awesome. So a little bit of indie. We have Descender #1. Obviously, this was a real easy book for me to get. I think it was like $15 or something like that. And I think it's starting to actually heat up a little bit because there's talks about them doing something with it. But I'm putting together this entire run, and then literally like a week later, I got the second one. It's like, it's nowhere to be found, and then all of a sudden it's like flooding the market, right? So, I got this one, 7 to Eternity #1, and I showed this in my 2020 want list video last year because it took so long for me to get the video out. I ended up getting this, and it was part of my list before I even started editing the video. So, but it was still part of it. I got this and 2 variants of it for the price of what this goes for itself. So I was really, really happy.
Nice.
I love this series. And I still want to send you I have 3 of the trades for this because I think that you would really like to read. It's really good. And knowing that there probably is only going to be one more trade because they just started the volume again, and they basically had said we're kind of starting this volume again to finish it off properly. So I can only see it going one more trade. Big one for me, as you know, got this recently. Kanto #1. Awesome condition. This one is actually gonna go out in my next CBCS submission. That's
Nice.
the first print, and it doesn't have the damage that it's famous for. So,
Oh, even better.
Yeah, if that doesn't come back a 9.6 or a 9.8, I'd be really surprised. Which a 9.8 is a pretty pricey book. I had picked up Transformers #1. Awesome book, obviously.
Yep.
I was huge into Transformers and G.I. Joes growing up, so it was cool just to get this. So, and I had it pressed, and it's going to go out as well. Condition looks pretty good. I could see that coming back at like a 7 to an 8, maybe. I know you have this one, I believe, Star Wars 42.
I do have that one, yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of roaming through your CLZ for, I can't remember what reason, and I noticed that.
Yeah,
I was like,
I
oh,
don't
yeah.
have a lot of Star Wars, but I have that, and I have the first Yoda, and I have another key, I think, too. So I don't have many, but the ones I have are good.
Yeah, no, for sure. I can't remember what number first Yoda is. Oh.
It's right around there, isn't it? Like 40?
I think so. Yeah, I was gonna say. I know it's around this one. So, this one has a tear in the middle. It's been pressed and all that, so it's gonna go out as well. A lot of these books are actually. I basically got them. Are like, okay, let's press them and let's get them out here soon. I'm super happy to get this.
Yep.
Uncanny 142. One of my favorite covers. And every time someone does a homage cover, it's awesome as well. So.
That was the book that you and I shared on our 2021 list.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Thor 337, First Beta Ray Bill.
yeah.
I recently got the other two for this kind of trilogy as well, which
Great.
I think are 336 and 338. So it's like first Stormbreaker and second Beta Ray Bill. Awesome book. Nice condition. Got it super cheap at my LCS. It was a really weird pricing. I didn't understand it because they're good with their pricing. They don't try to overcharge you, but they're not gonna. They're not gonna try to screw themselves over. But it was unbelievably cheap. I was golfing actually and saw them posted on Facebook while I was waiting to tee off, and I just called them and said, "Can you put that in my take it off the wall and put it in my my thing?" And they're like, "Yep." I was like, what the hell? I didn't even understand the price, so but I'll take it.
Yeah.
And this book actually, which I know you enjoy very much.
Every time I see this book, I say the same thing, which is I could stare at that cover all day.
Yeah, it is really nice. I'm a big fan of this cover, and I'm a fan of it every time I see it graded too.
Yeah.
And this is the book that got me started with the guy that I'm helping to sell books for. I just messaged him, and do you still have it? He had it on for a really good price. Great. And then we just kind of started talking, and then, Frank, I've bought at least 4 or 5 of his books, and then have been just selling them in Facebook auctions nonstop. So, and this one also I showed during my 2020 want video because I ended up getting this before I could get it edited. This is Avengers 57, CBCS 2.0. And you can tell it has not been pressed or cleaned. I do plan on cracking it and submitting it to, it will have to be CGC because of the age of the book. My CBCS guy can only do 1975 and up. But I wouldn't be surprised if a press alone brings it a full point. Nothing I can do about the off-white white, but it's like, you can just, I just want to get my hands on this thing into a presser's hands. So that was 9 of 10 that I got for my 2020 want list. And this one here, oh god, it's so nice. This is just arrived a couple days ago. I was hoping that it was going to be available for our live stream the other night. But it is kind of fitting that it ends up being for this one because we're talking about want lists. So, oh yeah, I see what he meant. So I got this. I don't mind a little bit of, as long as it presents well, as you know, then I'm all good. Even this is a modern book, but it's a bit of a modern grail as well. I've wanted this book for a while. There's a little bit of a water stain. You can tell something just dripped on it. That doesn't bother me. It still looks really good, and it's not like a dark stain. And I got it for a good price, really good price. That is Saga #1.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh yeah, fantastic. I have like, I think I have like 12 of the trades of this so far because this is the first one that I've read through trades actually is Saga. I just saw it and was like, oh, seems really neat. And I picked up the first one, and then over a couple of years, like my girlfriend at the time, she just used it as a great, like, I was like, oh, I'll get you a volume for your birthday or for Christmas and stuff like that. And I would pick them up, used and stuff. So yeah, I'm super, super happy with that.
That's great. Congratulations on
Yeah,
that.
thank you.
Congratulations on a successful 10 list too.
Yeah, it went really, really well. I like with my want list. I think most people probably do. They plan them so that there's a couple of very, very like, more affordable ones on there for the most part, and that okay, you know what? At worst case, if I just kind of don't have a great financial year, I can probably pick up a few that I'll still be really, really happy with. So like 7 to Eternity, I knew was going to be very easy to get. Descender was really easy to get. There was actually 1 or 2 more on there that I probably could have gotten by now, but I know that they're not going to be too expensive, and I can just go and grab them. But things just kept finding their way to me. I didn't expect to get She-Hulk and Thor this year because they were super, super hot books, and I got them for very, very, very good price. So,
what would you say was the toughest of those 10 books to get?
Kanto.
Okay.
Only because. No, not the condition. I don't mind the condition because I knew like a lot of them were damaged anyway. So chances are I would buy a damaged one for cheaper just to get it for a good price. But I'll pop this back onto this. But it kept slipping out of my hands. There was a couple times that it was in auctions and stuff like that. There was one time I had it in a Facebook auction, and I was the only bidder, and I had bid like day 2 into it, knowing it would end that night, and I got really, really busy at work, and it was just like it ended up being like super, super long day, and I forgot to after I got home, the auction was closing like an hour after I got home, and I just had completely forgot about it, and kind of had like what was barely even on my phone. I think I threw on some TV and then just relaxed for the end of the night. And then in the morning, I woke up and I was like, oh, frig, I wonder if I won that Kanto. And someone outbid me by $1 in the last like 10 minutes. And I was like, I kind of deserve that because, if you're serious about it, you got to pay attention to your auctions, right? And every auction that I go for books, I do. I double check. It was just that one day, and I was like, this book right here, it just is, it's and I don't want to overpay for it too, right? So.
Yeah.
And then I freaking ended up getting that and issue #2 for well under the price of what #1 goes raw anywhere that I've seen. And I got it local from my presser and didn't even know he had it. Right. So and as well as things, he was like, if there's any books you're looking for, let me know. And I never really sent him anything as a list. He's my presser. So that's kind of what I focus on. And then he posted some books and I was like, oh, of course you have it. So
yeah,
but no, it was good.
That's awesome. Congratulations again.
Thank you. It'd be nice to get that graded and see what comes back at as well. So, because I mean, even at a 9.6, I'll still come out well ahead, especially where I got 2 books for 1. So really, like the price on that did not cost me much. So.
Great.
Yeah. I'm ready to show the 2021 if you're good.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm excited to see what you have on your list because you haven't shown me your finalized list yet.
That's right.
So I'm excited to see what's on it myself.
I've kind of written down just the year and what appearances and stuff like that in them. So the first 2 books are actually from 2008, and yeah. So I'm going to let's see. I'm going to do this. Okay, and then I'm going to share screen. We'll see what happens. I'm going to show these tips again. Yes. Okay.
All right.
Can you see that on your screen?
I can.
Okay, sweet. Perfect. All right. So this is Annihilation Conquest number 6. Have you seen this book before?
I don't think I have.
Yeah. So I have talked over and over again about Annihilation. It's what really helped get me into comics, helped get me into Marvel, and it's how I fell in love with the character Nova and Guardians of the Galaxy, at least that team. So this is their first appearance as a team, as the new team. And it's a great, great cover. I feel like it's a wraparound cover as well. And I think I have 3 issues so far of the 6. So this will be the 4th when I get my hands on it. It's kind of hot right now. So I'm friggin' hot. One more second. If you want to talk for a second. All right, I'm back. I have a heat lamp going too, just for the kittens, because one of them's sick, and I'm like, no, I'm sorry, baby, but you gotta be cold for a bit because it's too hot in here. So yeah, this is a bit of a hot book right now, but there's a couple on this list that, you know, just like last year, when they're hot, yeah, the prices are going to go up, but I do find as well you start to see them a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why some of the books kind of came to me, because all of a sudden, you know, everyone who had them were looking to sell them because let's get as much as we can for it. So it's that fine line. I'm going to kind of keep my eye out for the guy who, you know, is trying to sell his, but trying to sell it under what everybody else is selling, so that somebody will buy his right away.
Smart idea.
You know what I mean? And if I don't get it, whatever, it will cool down, and then I'll get it another time. So, but yeah, big fan of this book.
So that's an A cover. That's not like a retailer exclusive or anything.
No, that's simply just the A cover. So there's actually no variants in that 6 run or 6 issue run. I'm pretty sure. All right, I'm gonna move on to the next one. Recognize this one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so Wolverine, Old Man Logan. This is Wolverine number 66. This is the first appearance of Old Man Logan. I read this run on Marvel Unlimited because I had heard about it, and I heard it was really good, and it is really. Have you read it?
I have not.
Oh yeah, it's something you definitely we should check out on Unlimited. It's just a very, very cool story, and you know what spawned from it. Obviously, this is the first appearance of Old Man Logan, but it's also the first appearance of Old Man Hawkeye. And I don't know if they were putting that on the CGC or on Any Graded or not. I'm actually interested to find out, because Old Man Hawkeye didn't get popular until like literally in the last couple of years when they brought out his solo run. So I wouldn't be surprised. Like now, when you go on to things, you see it's like first appearance of Old Man Logan and Old Man Hawkeye. So I'd be kind of interested to see what they put on there. So this should be a book that I should be able. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the first one I get off the list. It's probably the most affordable, and I feel like the Coins and Collectibles shop that I go to, I feel like he had one. I'd like to double check the condition, but I think it's going to be the most like readily available to me. So
okay, cool.
But who knows, right?
Yeah. All
right. Here's number 3. And let me know if anyone's saying anything in the comments as well, because I can always stop blabbering on. This cover, I mean, it's so friggin' nice. Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. number 1. I had a Nick Fury number 6 on here, but I ended up getting it recently. And I showed it in our last stream there. So I was going to have both of them on here. And that's kind of why Wolverine, another book ended up making the list, because I had to take number 6 off. But I love this, the number 6, and there's one that is, it's like a homage to a famous painting. I can't remember what number it is. I feel like it's like maybe number 8 or 3 or something, but it's just really, really nice covers.
Yeah.
I did read this issue on Marvel Unlimited. I haven't read any more because it'll be one of those things where I find, and now that you're using the app, I'll just read one issue so that it's in what you're reading, because I like to jump around with stuff too, right? So I'll read the first issue, and then so that it's because it's out of sight, out of mind, especially if you're using an app. So, it's a reminder like, hey, you want to continue reading this series. Same with like Warlock and Silver Surfer, all that type of stuff, right? So,
That's nice. Hey, let's say hi to William Smallwood, who joined us.
hello, William. Just jump
And
back over here.
David left a comment too. He said, you should look into Secret War by Bendis. The interiors are by Delato, and it's eye candy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, is that the oh, I didn't realize. So can you see me? And sorry, like this isn't my first time hosting with StreamYard. Could you see me the whole time? Because I was looking at my geez, I probably had a dumb look on my face. I was looking at another page because I was flipping through the pictures. I don't know if I can do it while I'm up here or not, or I have to go back to that screen.
If we were the Brady Bunch, you are in the Carol Brady position.
Nice. Back to that Secret War. I think he's talking about their black covers. I think a little bit shiny. I think I feel like I know exactly what he's talking about. I remember seeing like a Black Widow cover recently, and maybe there's a Daredevil one, and yeah, it's all black, and then like just like it'll show like the red of Daredevil and stuff. Really, really nice covers. So that's a really good suggestion. I'm going to add that to my Unlimited. So I wonder if I click this. No, it won't. So what I will do is, where are the? Oh, there we go. You guys see that moving a little bit? This way, now I can still see myself and also.
Okay.
Oh no, now I'm covering half the screen though, aren't I?
No, it's good.
Yep. Okay, good. Perfect. There we are. All right. This one is total cover. I have loved this cover for so long. I love the purple. I just, everything about it. It does say, it's from 1969. It says Origin of Galactus and first appearance of Thermal Man. So I would actually look forward to reading it as well. But even if the story was terrible, that cover is just awesome. One of my favorite Thor run.
Yeah, that is a great cover. And I tell you how in sync we are. I have actually been looking for that book for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have.
Nice. Yeah.
And I've got a few little honey holes and special spots to check. And I find every issue leading up to it and every issue right behind it, and that one is always plucked.
That's funny. Yeah, I'm really about like Thor. The first maybe 40 issues of when he had his first solo story. Like every cover is just that classic. Even the way that Thor is wrote out the actual title and stuff is just so nice. So, yeah, big fan.
Yeah.
Let's check the next one. We have a Spider-Man book on my list, which does not happen very much, as I am not the biggest Spider-Man fan. I definitely am more of a fan now, and I would appreciate most of his sub 100 books, but I'm a big fan of Mysterio covers, and this and 67 I would like to get my hands on, but this one definitely. So, and this is obviously the more affordable compared to his first appearance, obviously.
Absolutely. Hey, Man Cave Comics is with us.
Hey, Man Cave.
Hey, man.
Again.
Good to have you here.
Yes, he was in the stream the other night too. That's really good.
Yeah.
And it's probably 3 a.m. where he's at. No, Man Cave. Sorry, it was who was in the stream the other night. It was like 4 a.m. It wasn't Man Cave. He wasn't here the other night. I don't think.
Was it the Gray Man?
That was Gray Man. Yeah. He was like, "Hey, well, it's 3 a.m. I'm gonna go to bed." I'm like, buddy. Yeah. Much appreciated to have you here, Man Cave.
And Man Cave says that is a great cover, and I agree with him.
Yeah, 100%. We are big fans of yours. We probably some of my list most of my list you probably have in really nice condition. So. Yeah.
I want to go to Man Cave's Man Cave.
Yeah.
I want to take pictures of me next to his books.
Just be foolish. Kid in a candy shop.
Yeah, and Javi likes the cover too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Really, really nice. Let's see. So every photo I found for these was obviously just like photos off the internet, and this one, the only photo, it was like showing it the cover as blue, and I was like, no, this is a more purple looking book, I'm sure. So I grabbed this one off the internet, and so I don't know whose rug that is, but Silver Surfer #2 for Spadoon. I am putting together a run, as you know, of Silver Surfer Volume 1. I have 6 issues so far. I'm looking for like low to mid grade, not too low, but you know what I mean. So it's only fitting that I would try to add one of what I consider the 4 keys in that run, which are the first 4 issues.
Yep.
I've got a #1, and I wouldn't mind getting my hands on a #2 for the right price, and especially for the condition I'm looking for. That will be a big help to me, because it doesn't have to be, it just has to be presentable, right? So I can probably score one for a half decent price. That was an easy one. Another Thor making the list, 126. I mean, first issue as his own solo story, but just a awesome cover. I love the way their arms are, and like where they're just gonna smash each other too. It's friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
Really, really, really nice. So
yeah, that Jack Kirby. He knows what he's doing.
Literally, like it's just and that's I was just saying about some of those Thor covers. There's there's the first appearance of High Revolutionary, I think it's called. That cover too. I mean, that one's starting to heat up. Like that almost made the list, because I'm like, these, you just can't not look at them and be like, I want that book. So.
Yeah. So William Smallwood says 126 is his Grail book.
Really?
Yeah.
Man.
And Mancave says that this is one of the best Kirby covers.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
And that's pretty awesome. That's a Grail book for him. So it's if I can get my hands on that, I'll be very, very happy. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so here, this one is a very, very hot book right now. Fantastic Four King Size Special, #6. This is the first Annihilus, and for me, one, it's a cool cover, but two, I have a connection with certain characters because of just the books that I was getting into and the reading when I was first getting into comics, because I still consider myself very, very new into this hobby, and this is one of those characters that I'm just like, I would love to have the first appearance. And it's really nice when the first appearance is an actual nice cover too, because sometimes I find, especially right now, with all these small first appearances, it's some of the covers are just like, it doesn't, I'm not just collecting for who's in the book every time. I want to also see a nice cover. So I love the red in this, the red and the circles. How it's just it's cutting right through them, because it's like a wave or almost like a whirl or whatever. It's really, really nice. I enjoy this cover every time I see it. So.
But the reason this book is heating up, isn't it because it's the first appearance in the birth of Franklin Richards?
And, oh shoot, yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And because they expect him to be in the movies when Fantastic Four comes out again. So really.
I guess so far, out of everything you've shown me on your list, and for those that are just joining us, Thomas is running down his 2021 goal list of books. But I think out of everything you've showed us so far, this is the one that has surprised me the most that made the list.
Why is that?
I guess because you're not the biggest FF fan. At least I don't consider you the biggest FF fan.
That is true, actually. And I do want to. I'm starting to appreciate a lot of the Fantastic Four. Well, it's not starting. I appreciate a lot of the Fantastic Four covers and the first appearances in like sub 100 FF for the most part, right?
Yeah.
Even if it's kind of like these Avengers books that have just been picking up randomly that are, low to mid grade, sub 100. Like if I see Fantastic Four, I'm going to grab them as well. I just think they look great. I have Fantastic Four 46, First Black Bolt. Great cover. It's just the team itself. It's not that I'm not a fan of them.
Do
There's nothing that really gets me, I guess. And
you like them? do you like them when the team changes? Like if Medusa is part of the FF, or Crystal, or She-Hulk, or someone else, does that change?
I think that yes, in a sense, I think that is if they're like not necessarily who they're fighting, but like who's appearing in their in with them, even over just like a couple like a story arc, then I'm more of a fan. So, but like, don't get me wrong, like what was it, the Secret Wars 2. They were a big part of that, and I have that run. More modern reading again, but was a big fan of them in that, right? So I guess it's just how they're done as well.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Mancade says that Thomas seems to be going down the Marvel Silver Age rabbit hole.
Yeah, every book on here is Marvel. And in the last year's, I just showed them, obviously, if you watched from the start, some of the books that I got last year. I'm a huge indie guy, like huge into indie. I don't collect DC yet, and so it's basically going to be one or the other. But with indie, there's no real like, you don't get this, like I might, like I said, you and I have kind of said before, like my collecting is changing a lot in regards to, I'm starting to go through that, just like he says, that rabbit hole pretty hard right now. So it's basically anytime I'm looking at comics online now, I'm like, oh, what's how much does this Avengers blah 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 go for? And it's going to be a sub 100. It's going to, what's Cap? What are these early Cap books look like now? Because now I have Cap 106, and like, ooh, maybe I'll get 107, or what's 103. It's like I'm on it now. So it's a good rabbit hole, but it's not super cheap. Next one is a 96, so I assume that's modern, right? Oh yeah, this is definitely modern. This cover here, so this is Incredible Hulk 449. This is the first Thunderbolts, and I think the Thunderbolts are a really cool team. Probably could be used more as well, from what I've read at least. It's not like I really like this cover, but I never really liked it when I first found out that this was their first appearance. This is probably like a couple years ago. I was like, I don't know. I just, there's something about the way it's drawn. I'm not a big fan of that, but I actually appreciate this cover a lot more, and have the more and more I look at it, and I have seen it like slabbed and stuff like that, and I think it looks really good. I think it's probably the coloring that helps.
Yeah.
For me, because it's not a super great cover. I do want the book. It's more like I said, most of mine are cover buys. In that, your want list to me are really great covers, and chances are they're going to have some good first appearances in them. And this one is going to be like the first appearances that probably is better than what the cover is, and that doesn't happen with me a lot. Again, not that I don't like the cover. So sorry, I have a cat on me too, so if you see my arms moving a lot, she's all over me. So, and back to back Hulk. We've got Incredible Hulk 271. First, first comic appearance of Rocket Raccoon, I believe. Because his first appearance is in Satana with an S, I think. But it's a magazine style, which is a cool looking book too, which I wouldn't mind getting at some point. But I've always enjoyed this cover. I love that Rocket's actually on there. And when I was last night, when we were on Comic Book NYC stream, somebody had put into, and it might have been him himself, he put a link to a page that you can kind of find your birthday yearbooks. Oh yeah, your month and year. And he said, if you go on there, you got to kind of hit some drop downs, and one will say when it was published and when it was released. So this one, I can't remember if I had it on whether it was published or released, but it's in one of those drop downs. It is officially one of my birthday books, which is kind of cool.
That's cool.
I feel like it was the published one. So, because it says, oh yeah, it would have to be, because it says May on it. So
yeah, I looked for mine too, and I found 2 DC books that were published on the actual date, month, date, and year. And it's an Action Comics and an Adventure Comics, and now I want to scoop at least one of those up.
Yeah, it's a kind of a neat thing to like like, oh, this was my, one of my birthday books. But this one says May, I'm like, because I'm a February, so I'm like, no, it's not really, you can just say it, I guess.
For me, Wonder Woman wasn't published. At that time, Wonder Woman was published bi-monthly. She was not published the month that I was born.
Oh, frig. Yeah.
But an issue came out like 5 days after I was born, but it was in a new month.
Oh, yeah, because you were towards the end of the month.
Yeah, I'm towards the end of the month.
Shoot, yeah, I'm early into February, like 3 days in, so. All right, let's do the next one here. There we go. So this is the book 11 on my list. This one and the next one are considered my I would consider them big boy books for myself. Even though this one you can find it, it's not going to be too pricey. It's just, what's the condition going to be like? And that's why I kind of call it, even though like there's other books on this list that are from the same year. And what are those conditions going to be like as well? But they're going to be a little bit cheaper in the condition I want compared to the condition I want for this one, right? So because I've looked online, and to me, presentable, I don't worry about the spine too much on a book for, let's say an older book, for me being presentable. It's about like that kind of what's right here and the edges, that's okay. But I find with this one, every time I'm looking at it and I see with the spine really like messed up, or one of the corners really rounded, it doesn't present as well. And I think it's because they are at the bottom of the book.
Yeah.
So I basically want to find something where it's presentable on the bottom half, and if the top half isn't as great and I can get it for a good price, fine. Because I mean, the Inhumans, you can barely see them as is, and they're pretty close to the center of the book. But I like the way the Fantastic Four look on this cover.
Yeah, that looks sharp.
Yeah.
So if you get this book, while it's the first appearance of the Inhumans, it's not the first appearance of Medusa. Will you eventually chase down her first appearance?
I will, yeah, especially where I have the first Black Bolt as well, right? So, yeah. I'm like, you and I have said we're pretty big fans of the Inhumans, and I think they're underrated. And yes, they probably weren't used well in the show, but if they can kind of, I mean, Fantastic Four probably haven't been very good and used very well in the movies either, right? So if they can knock those two out of the park, it'd be just awesome, right? So and my last one, X-Men 14, First Sentinels. Wow. This to me, this is the big boy book on this list. I've never really gone after any higher priced books, at least in my opinion. And I mean, this obviously it's X-Men 14. At least the FF was 45. There was at least 44 issues before it. So I mean, it's like and yes, it has a big appearance, but it's not like it was first Black Panther or anything like that, or first Galactus / Silver Surfer, which are obviously books that I want. But this one is a big one to me. I love this cover, and you and I both really, really appreciate anything with Sentinels on it, right? So that's going to be this one is not something I'm going to go after hard. It's going to be if I can put myself in the position to get one, and just by especially by selling books. And I know that you're kind of want to start looking into that as well a little bit. And how I just do a lot of little Facebook auctions and stuff like that, and I raffle books and so on, all within those groups. If I feel comfortable enough this year with my hobby money, with the money that I I'm very about my budget, then if I can start putting a little together, then I'm going to probably put a strong push on this book if I can get my hands on it. So
who knew that Purple Robots could be so cool?
Seriously though, man, it's so nice too. I love them coming through the window too, or whatever. It's really good.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
So that's my want list for the year, right? So and I put 12 in there because it's like I said last year, I did did 23, so this is kind of like, and yeah, again, there's some books down here that I could probably get very, very quickly, and then other ones I just, hi Leia, just those
hey,
hopped in here too. Lasso is everywhere now. Yes, you are. That's right.
So a couple questions for you.
Yeah, please.
Are you chasing all these books raw, slabbed, or you don't care?
Raw for the most part, because I think that's the best way to be able to negotiate price. It's a little harder to, one person's opinion to another one. In regards to what the grade is when it's raw is a little easier. So I find people, at least for myself, I try not to oversell a book. I try my best to do give my opinion on what I think the grade is going to be, and then I'll sell it. I'll price it to sell. And if you can find, especially in some of the Facebook groups and stuff that I'm in, those guys they're pricing them to sell. So I think I can find a lot of these books that way. So, but I mean, if I found one for the right price, I mean, that Avengers 57 that I got last year, right? Like, it was such a good price.
Yeah.
And that 2.0 with once I saw it, I was like, yeah, this looks great too. I knew I could, you could press it and get a little bit of a bump, but it was under the MFV or whatever, FMV, sorry, at the time as well. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna buy this, right? So if not, it would have been something I just would have hoped to find raw. Hi Leia, I'm just gonna show him this real quick. I know that you will appreciate this book. If I can find it, I just got this in the mail 2 days ago and waited till today to open it. This is Saga #1, my friends. I can hold this right. There we go. Big fan of what's on Hialeah's back wall when he's doing videos, because he's got some indie books constantly on his wall that, like, him and I both appreciate a lot. So I wouldn't, I wouldn't mind also getting into his man cave and checking out a bunch of his, his just awesome collection that you see all the time, right? So, what else you got for me?
So the list that you showed us, was that, I know that you mentioned X-Men was like the big book, but was everything like in order from 12 down to 1, or just there is no real order to it?
No, there's no real order to it except for the last two. I made sure that those were the last, because I consider those the bigger ones. Everything else is kind of, it was just, as I was writing, I was just writing them down. And I just knew that those 10. Yes, love me some indies, Hialeah. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. I don't really have like a method to the madness, I guess, except for just the last two books. Because to me, like, those would also be like the big, it's not that I don't appreciate all the rest of the books, but if I only got those two and none of the other 10, I'd be like, yeah, it was a good year, right? So
sure.
I think if I got that X-Men 14 and got none of the rest, I'd be like, this was a really good year. So
yeah. And the other question that pops in my mind too, you told us that the book that you thought will be the easiest for you to achieve is, what is the book that you think will be the hardest?
I think the X-Men 14. I think.
I don't.
Well, it's the.
You know which one I think is going to end up being your toughest one to get?
I'm just thinking of, maybe for conditioning, it might be that FF45.
I think it's going to be the FF Annual.
You know what? That's actually a really, really good point too. So, see, that one is, I think it's going to present well for the most part in most conditions. But there's a certain, like with that 45, I want it to be a certain condition in certain spots. But yeah, that FF Annual it's heated up too. Yeah, that's a really, really good point. Like, we're past. I mean, don't get me wrong, Sentinels will show up again, but we're so far from that I'm not worried about like X-Men 14 like getting real hot right now. It's always going to be a really good book, right? So
the first thing that's going to happen is when mutants or X-Men are announced in the MCU, you know, the X-Men first appearances are going to be the first books to heat up. But I'm talking, while that's the first appearance of the Sentinels, I'm talking like X-Men 1,
Yeah.
GS, and those are good. And even X-Men 94,
Yep.
those are going to be the ones that are really going to blow up first. And then I think these other ones will come after it. My opinion.
I agree 100%.
So,
No, for sure.
I think you got a good list.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with it. So it's going to be fun going after these. So it's yeah, I think it is a little bit. I'm a little bit more organized about it this year too, after last year's. Yeah, Jubilee. Yeah, 184 will be canon.
Yeah.
Which highlights. Yeah, it is number 6. I realized he was only he probably only jumped in at the last couple of books
afterwards. So
yeah. So
Javi's on the hunt for a Saga as well.
Oh yeah, and that So Highlight, that Saga, I got it for a good price because it's got a little water stain right here, to a point where it's really hard to see. I mean, the lighting isn't that great anyways, but it's not like it wasn't like a coffee stain. You know what I mean? It's not like it's like a dark blotchy shot on here, and I'm fine with that. That's been the nice part about my collecting is that that presents beautifully with that stain or not. You know, whether it affects the grade doesn't matter. I'm getting everything graded. Everything wanted to be graded at some point, right? Unless it's in a giant run or something. But that would be the only. That'd probably be the only actual issue of that run I would probably even own, anyways. Where I have the trades, right? So the first couple are cool covers and stuff, but this is my favorite cover of that entire run as well. So it's a really, really nice personal grail to have. So.
Yeah,
and it's obviously one of the big indie grails out there. It probably will be for a while.
Yep. You know that Comic Fu has got that, and he's got it signed, double signed.
Oh, by Brian K. Vaughan and Staples.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a shame. Frig. No, that's cool. It's cool. Yeah. It's gonna be a cool experience. So
yeah, I think you've got a really good list.
Yeah, no, I'm super happy with it. And then obviously I'm gonna just continue to work on some runs. I'm gonna work on that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 run, I think, from 2008. All the Annihilation stuff, just these fun little chip away at that Silver Surfer Volume 1.
And you're probably working on your Nick Fury's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
My Nick Fury's, my Warlock Volume 1, which has been going really, really well. David SNMC is saying, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, sorry, you've really been killing it, though, with your Silver Age X-Men and your Silver Age Avengers.
Yeah, the Avengers are just coming out of the woodwork. And I have 3 of them that I don't even have yet because the guy who sends books away for CBCS for me, he's just holding a couple that I bought from him too, some early, awesome. Low to mid grade. David SNMC is saying you want the RRP of that book. I don't know if I know what RRP means. Maybe I'm having a brain fart. I wonder if he means, because I feel like there was maybe a variant to issue 1. I assume he's talking about Saga.
That's what I think he's talking about too.
Yeah, I'll have to find out what he's talking about. Yeah, because
Saga 1, he says.
Okay. It must be updating on mine. The RP. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. Yeah. That's it for me. So I appreciate everybody we're probably going to end this here. I didn't really have a super, Saga 1, yep, that is. I'm just getting his comments now. It was a little delayed on my end. Saga 1, yep, that is it. Or I'm definitely going to check that out then, the RRP for that book. So this was kind of just it was really enjoyed to go live again. I mean, we just went live the other night. So with my content, I'm normally just making a video whenever I can. A lot of times I just don't have the time to. So I kind of mentioned to you that 2,000 plus book. Okay, well, yowza. Yeah, holy, I have to see this book now, frig. Yeah, so I kind of decided, you know what, let's just do this live. I can share my screen and show the pictures, and that was so much easier than me editing, because I'm not, like I said, I'm not great with editing, and I just don't. A lot of times I don't have the time. I'm so busy. So this was really, really good. This is only my second time going live, and it's nice to be able to bring a guest on here and kind of chat about the books and stuff, and a couple people jumping in. Really, really great. And I appreciate it a lot. And yeah, and I don't have anything on the go coming soon. So you probably won't see me very much, just because I don't have a lot of books coming in right now. My next big, not big thing, but at some point this submission to CBCS is going to come in. The guys kind of checking with them, because I know with Christmas and stuff, the holidays, it pushes things back. Our first submission in the summer, it was like 2 months. It was so fast. And it's been around that 3-month mark. So I'm really, really hoping those books come back. So I'll do a live unboxing for that too. Obviously, I'm going to have you there. So
do you know your grades ahead of time or not?
No. I've asked him to, he packages them, so basically I can't see them anyways. But I told him the first time, I said, I don't want to know the grades. I'd like to know when I open it. So he's really good about that. With CGC, the authenticated dealer I use in Ontario, he was putting the grades. So my very first submission, he put the grades on the digital receipt that he sent me.
Gotcha.
And so I had saw the first couple of grades, and then I just looked away, and then they got rid of the email or whatever. And then I let him know the next time. I said, "Can you?" Because all he's doing is freeforming it, right? So and now he's known to not put them in, because he knows that I want to. And I don't think he knows that I do YouTube. He just understands that even if you weren't doing YouTube, you want somebody else telling you those grades, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I did see TJ say today that he. I saw him in John's video yesterday, that he, as soon as they release them online, he goes and checks the grades. He can't wait for it. So I'm like, no, I like, that's another just really, really great part of this hobby. It's not the fact that you're getting it encapsulated and it's just going to look really, really nice, and you're going to protect the book. Finding out that grade, I don't care if that thing comes back at a 2. It's just it's another fun part of the process. So
yeah, it is.
There's so many little elements to this hobby. Take YouTube out of it, just the comic hobby itself, and then add the things that you can do with that: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We live right now in a really, really good age for being a part of this hobby, whether you're new or have been doing it for 4 years, right? So
yeah,
and CLZ and Key Collector and you name it, and you can just do so much, right?
Yeah,
it's hard. Yeah, it's hard not to look highly. Yeah, that's right. Some books is a rabbit hole you don't want to get into. It's expensive. I know that, frig. I love it.
Yes.
That's the problem.
CLZ changed everything for me in my collecting. Completely changed everything for me. It took it to a different level for me.
It's a really good app. So,
yeah, it is.
Yeah, it doesn't have everything on there, but it's just there's a human behind that every app, right? So they have to submit everything, but it's cool because you can let them know and stuff like that. Sometimes you click on a book in there and it's just a photo that they took of a book. They didn't even bother putting in a stock photo or whatever, or couldn't find a good one. But at least it's like, okay, it's there, and then you can add it without having to add it yourself. So.
And they're always working and updating that. When Varangian started AOKing me some German Wonder Woman, which is Wonder Girl, on CLZ they didn't exist. Right. And now on CLZ, every issue is on there with covers. So
Night Hialeah, thank you. We're going to be ending this soon too as well. So I appreciate you popping in as always. I agree 100%.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
So yeah, like I said, I don't really have, besides that, whenever those books finally get back, I just don't have a lot besides that coming in. I did have a lot because just before, like the last couple of months, I've just been buying a lot of books. So it was kind of nice to kind of get them and show some of them finally and get time to roll through some of that stuff. So. But how about yourself? Do you have anything going on in the next couple of hours or days? Or?
I am staying up late tonight. They typically say that nothing good happens after midnight, but that is not true.
Yes.
Because there is the Nerdy Collector Show tonight, and they have asked me to be part of it. So I'm excited for that. And that's on the Comic Book G-Spots channel. It starts 1 a.m. Eastern, midnight Central tonight. And I'm really looking forward to spending some time with these guys and visiting with them. So that is coming up in a few hours.
Very awesome.
Yesterday, I'm really trying to work on my first thoughts or reaction type videos. I want to get better at that process. So I thought, let's do one on the first 2 episodes of WandaVision.
Yeah.
So it's not a super long video. There's not a lot of spoilers in it. And what are spoilers are very minor.
Yeah.
So that dropped yesterday. The day before, I did 2020, the year in slabs, which was a review of all of this, because I didn't get my first slabs in my collection until 2020, although I've been a lifelong comic book collector. So I reviewed the entire year of slabs. It wasn't my 10 favorite or my top 10 or anything. It was the top 10 slabs that I own. It's my entire slab collection until Wednesday, which Wednesday, as I mentioned before, you were on my channel live and you graciously sent an AOK over that I unboxed, and that's archived on my channel as well. So that's everything that has been, is about to be, and coming soon. It's been raining AOKs. I have AOKs from Comic Food 2814, Bake the Snake, Copy 801, and Stone Cold Steve Whiting.
That's awesome.
So those videos will all be coming up too.
Oh, that's really, really good.
Yep. Yeah, so if anyone hasn't checked out my channel, I'd appreciate it if you head over. Even when we wind up this video, and if you're not subscribed, consider throwing a subscription my way. I'd certainly would appreciate it. I'm very close to 400 right now. I'm just I'm a handful away.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like this year, your channel, because you really. Oh, is that a train in the background? Yeah. Your channel, I think, has taken some big leaps in 2020.
Absolutely.
Especially the second half, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You're already rolling into 2021, all guns a-blazing, so it's good.
But it's because of the people. It's because of this community. I haven't encountered a troll or a bad person or a bad experience, and I'm fortunate, and everything that I've done has been so positive and wonderful, and I'm so appreciative of the people I've met.
No, me too. There hasn't been a single problem with anybody. It's been really, really great.
Yeah. Well, cool.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Really, really appreciate anybody who subs my channel and who likes my videos and watches them. And for the 6 or 7 that we've had in this video, and anybody who watches this on the replay, very, very much appreciated. And congratulations to Comic Books NYC for getting his 1,000th sub last night, and well on JP Budget's Collecting's celebration show for being on YouTube for 2 years, and for getting his 1,500th sub the other day. So
yeah,
I don't even know how long I've been on here, because I make videos so inconsistently. I could have been on here for like 5 years and probably had the same amount that I have now. So
Biggie's getting close to 1,000.
Yeah,
he's very, very close. So he'll probably be the next one that will get up there.
Yeah, very much deserved for all those guys. So I'm really, really big parts of this community. So
yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. All right. Well, we're going to end this broadcast, and thanks again.
Yep.
Bye.